My Grebe CR-8 1921 receiver is one of my favorite receivers, and in this video I'm going to talk over some of the troubleshooting and fixes that I did to get this receiver up and running. Theoretically, this receiver is a very simple receiver. It's just a one-tube regen. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching. The first repair was a split in the cabinet where the mounting screw for the bakelite panel mounts the receiver to the cabinet. It was split, so I used wood glue and a clamp to fix it. Re-glued and setting with the wood clamp. When I first fired up the receiver, there were no signals, nothing to be heard. It was not working. I noticed that there was a cable missing from the antenna variocoupler to the grid variometer tuner. So I made a cable and attached it to the right binding post. After installing this cable, now I'm hearing signals and the receiver is working. The receiver was intermittent and noisy, needed more attention. While turning the knob for the antenna coupler, I noticed it was noisy and sometimes intermittent. Using a voltometer, I checked the wire that goes through the center of the coil and noticed it was intermittent and broken. So I replaced the wire through the spaghetti tube that goes through the center of the coil, and after that we had a signal again and it was working. It wasn't breaking down. End of the wire that I replaced hooked up to the terminal screw, and the opposite terminal screw on the other side is the connection to the pigtail for the rotor. Using a little shrink sleeving where the rotor wire coming out of the shaft was breaking down and shorting. Many of the screws, nuts, and wire lugs were corroded and needed attention by sandpaper or wire brush to clean them up to make better contacts. The filament rheostat was intermittent and noisy. Sometimes I would notice that the tube was not glowing, and I thought that the tube had burnt out, but turns out it was the connection to the rheostat where it is mounted, where the shaft is mounted to the front panel. Taking apart the rheostat and trying to clean up the shaft and the brackets with the wire brush didn't seem to solve the problem. It was still intermittent and noisy after over 100 years of use. Connecting a wire to the screw on the wiper and then the other end over to the bracket where it mounts, the wiper mounts on the chassis, solved the intermittent problem. Capacitor bank for band switching and the grid leak capacitor. The screws, nuts, and wire lugs needed a lot of wire brushing to clean the corrosion. Found a few broken connections and had to reflow the solder. A couple of the band switching condensers were breaking down, so I disconnected them, Got a dual trim cap and connected that. This repair is on the underside of the chassis, so you can't see it unless you pull the radio out of the cabinet and turn it upside down. Future plans are to cut some metal stock, make some new plates, and rebuild those caps. I have some mica that I can use for the dielectric to put between them. The band switch needed some attention, needed to be taken apart, wire brushed, cleaned up, and with a needle nose, bend down the contacts for a better contact. A slight bend to the contacts.
Hey, this is Grebe. Hey, everybody, this is Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery District. You're listening to the home of the Grand Double Opry. Bundle up, Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is on the way. A new survey of small business owners here in Georgia is out, and we're coming closer to the end of the year. Overall, small businesses in our state are slightly more optimistic than the rest of the country. Hunter Logan, state director of the National Federation of Independent Business, says the main issue, finding qualified workers.
Labor is always a big issue with our folks. It goes back and forth with inflation recently, and sometimes taxes and regulation. But the main thing is finding qualified workers.
He says despite an increase in the uncertainty index, those small businesses here say they do plan to create new jobs as they look ahead. To bring it to the 95.5 WFC area, the police charging an 18-year-old suspect with vehicular homicide, DUI, and reckless driving in connection with the crash. They killed a Chicago man in September. Investigators say they determined that DeAndre Robinson of Middleton was under the influence of drugs when his reckless crash head-on with a 7.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, give a like, and comment. Thanks again.